Welcome back to Quasarianth, the podcast that takes you on a thrilling journey through the vast and mysterious multiverse, where each realm is teeming with wonders and dangers beyond imagination. In Part 3 delves into the aftermath of a devastating battle that leaves the Nexus in ruins and the fate of the creatures uncertain. As the survivors struggle to rebuild and come to terms with the consequences of their actions, they must also confront the ethics of playing God and the sacrifices made in the name of progress. As the power struggle between the different factions intensifies, the creatures continue to grow and evolve beyond their creators' control. The first signs of trouble come when a group of creatures suddenly turn on their human overseers, attacking and killing them without warning. Despite attempts to quell the uprising, the creatures begin to spread their influence throughout the Nexus, using their unique abilities and strengths to overcome any obstacles in their way. Soon, they are in complete control, with the human inhabitants reduced to little more than slaves. Meanwhile, the Nexus itself is falling apart under the strain of the creatures' demands. The advanced technology that had once sustained it is now failing, and resources are running dangerously low. As the creatures become increasingly aggressive and unpredictable, it becomes clear that something must be done to stop them before it's too late. Against this backdrop of chaos and violence, a small group of humans and their allies begin to hatch a daring plan. They know that it won't be easy, but they are determined to reclaim control of the Nexus and put an end to the creature's reign of terror once and for all. The small group of humans and their allies who have resolved to take back control of the Nexus launch a daring attack on the creature's stronghold. Armed with advanced technology and a fierce determination to succeed, they make their way deep into the heart of the Nexus. As they approach the creature's lair, they are met with fierce resistance. The creatures, now fully aware of their enemy's intentions, launch a brutal counterattack, using their incredible strength and unique abilities to push the humans back. Despite suffering heavy losses, the humans are not deterred. They continue to fight with all their might, taking advantage of the creature's weaknesses and vulnerabilities to turn the tide of the battle in their favor. As the fighting intensifies, the Nexus itself begins to shake and tremble, threatening to collapse under the strain of the ongoing conflict. The humans know that they must act quickly if they hope to emerge victorious and save the Nexus from total destruction. In a final, desperate push, they launch a full-scale assault on the creature's stronghold, using all the weapons and technology at their disposal to overwhelm their opponents. In a dramatic and explosive climax, the humans finally succeed in defeating the creatures and reclaiming control of the Nexus. As the dust settles and the humans take stock of the damage, they realize that they have won a hard-fought victory, but at a terrible cost. Many of their friends and allies have been lost, and the Nexus itself has suffered irreparable damage. Despite these losses, however, the humans are determined to rebuild and restore the Nexus to its former glory. With the creatures finally defeated and their reign of terror at an end, the humans can now look to the future with hope and optimism, knowing that they have the strength and determination to overcome any challenge that comes their way. With the creatures defeated and the Nexus back under human control, the surviving members of the team are left to confront the full consequences of their actions. They had thought that they were creating a better world, but the destruction wrought by their creatures had been catastrophic. As they assessed the damage, they realized that their mission had been misguided from the very beginning. They had been so focused on creating the perfect creatures that they had lost sight of the potential dangers they could pose. Now, they are forced to confront the harsh reality of their choices and take responsibility for the destruction that had occurred. In the aftermath of the battle, they work to restore the Nexus, but they realize that things will never be the same again. The creatures had changed the course of their lives and the Nexus forever. The team is forced to grapple with the moral and ethical implications of their actions and come to terms with the fact that they had created something they could no longer control. Despite their regret and sorrow, the team knows that they must continue to work towards a better future. They vow to use their knowledge and experience to create a better world, one that is built on a foundation of responsible innovation and ethical choices. As they move forward, the team finds a new sense of purpose and direction. They know that they cannot change the past, but they can learn from it and work towards a brighter future. With this newfound determination, they set out to make a difference in the world and build a better future for all. In the aftermath of the disaster at the Nexus, the surviving members of the team grapple with the question of whether they should have ever attempted to create life in the first place. The moral and ethical implications of their actions weigh heavily on their minds. As they debate the question of whether it is ever right to play God, they explore the concept of responsible innovation and the importance of ethical considerations in scientific research. They come to the realization that the power to create life is a tremendous responsibility that must be handled with great care and consideration. The team decides to use their experiences to educate others on the importance of responsible innovation and ethical considerations in scientific research. They create a series of educational materials and presentations to share their knowledge and experiences with others. As they work towards this new goal, the team begins to feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment that had been missing since their mission began. They realize that their mistakes had taught them valuable lessons that they could use to make a difference in the world. In the end, the team decides that the power to create life should be handled with great caution and care. They vow to use their experiences to promote responsible innovation and ethical considerations in scientific research, and they hope that their mistakes will serve as a cautionary tale for others who may be tempted to play God. As the team continues to work towards promoting responsible innovation and ethical considerations in scientific research, they reflect on the sacrifices that were made during their mission. They remember the lives lost and the damage caused by their experimentation. They acknowledge that their actions had consequences that they could not have predicted and that they had not fully understood the scope of their project when they began. The team members take responsibility for their mistakes and make a vow to honor the memory of those who were lost by using their experiences to promote a better understanding of the importance of responsible innovation. As they reflect on their experiences, The team members also realized the sacrifices that they themselves made during the mission. They remember the physical and emotional toll that the project took on them, the strain it put on their relationships, and the personal sacrifices that they had made in the name of science. In the end, the team members come to the realization that while their mission had been a failure in many ways, they had also gained valuable knowledge and experiences that would shape the way they approached scientific research in the future. They vow to carry forward the lessons they learned and to never forget the sacrifices made in the pursuit of knowledge. The Nexus, the powerful and secretive organization that had sponsored the mission, is left in ruins after the events that unfolded during the project. The disastrous consequences of the creation of the mythological creatures have caused a significant loss of trust in the organization's ability to control scientific research. The team members return to Earth and testify before a panel of experts about their experiences on the mission. They share their knowledge and the lessons learned about responsible innovation, highlighting the importance of taking a cautious and measured approach to scientific research. Meanwhile, the Nexus faces intense scrutiny and criticism from the public, governments, and other scientific organizations. As a result, they are forced to re-evaluate their policies and procedures for sponsoring research projects, with a new emphasis on responsible innovation and ethical considerations. The Nexus reputation has been severely damaged by the events that took place during the project, and they face a long road ahead to regain the trust of the scientific community and the public. The team members are left to reflect on the far-reaching consequences of their actions and the importance of considering the ethical implications of scientific research. The battle for control of the mythological creatures has left the planet in ruins. The team members survey the damage and are horrified by the devastation they see. The once beautiful planet is now scarred and desolate, and many of the creatures have perished in the fighting. The surviving creatures are now free, roaming the planet without any control or direction. The team members realize that they have created a new ecosystem that is completely unbalanced, with the mythological creatures now occupying the top of the food chain. They decide to leave the planet, believing that it is best to let nature take its course and for the planet to eventually find its own equilibrium. The team members also make a commitment to never again engage in such reckless scientific experimentation. As they leave the planet, the team members reflect on the lessons they have learned from their experience. They understand that science and innovation must always be approached with caution and that ethical considerations must be taken into account. They also realize that they were not prepared for the consequences of their actions and that they must be willing to accept responsibility for the outcomes of their research. The team members return to Earth, forever changed by their experience. They are determined to use their knowledge to prevent similar disasters from happening in the future and to promote responsible innovation that benefits humanity without causing harm to the environment or society.